So I'm here at the European Regions Airline Association Spring Conference in Warsaw with ERA Director General Mike Ambrose, and I was just wondering, Mike, if you'd be able to give me a quick overview of how the downturn is affecting regional airlines among your membership.
Well, our traffic results for last year show that we were about the same as in 2007, but that's only part of the story. That masks the fact that we had a reasonable beginning to the year, but by the third quarter, traffic had really started to dip. Along with the major carriers, we have suffered a reduction in business traffic, and we look forward to some recovery, according to Eurocontrol's estimates, in 2010. But at the moment, all of the focus of our member airlines and their presidents is on ensuring the implementation of cost control measures and looking at new opportunities, because there are new opportunities arising. We just had one very interesting session where one of our member carriers was talking about picking up routes that major carriers had abandoned.
And what sort of adaptive measures do you think that the airlines can take to take advantage of the crisis, to manage their costs? Is there anything which is being tabled, which is being mentioned by the executives that are here at the conference?
Well, it was pointed out by one of our leading presidents yesterday that we now fly aeroplanes with a very much higher level of concern with respect to fuel consumption. People are more, well, the pilots are more concerned about getting optimum flight levels, being very, very careful with respect to planning their arrival times, that means planning speeds, descents, with a higher level of care. And while it sounds that's something we should have been doing all along, and there's a reasonable case to say that, but with the intense concentration on costs now, if you can save 0.25% or 1% of fuel on every flight, that mounts up. That's just one example. Other examples, we're looking at more intensive crew rostering, and we are asking every part of the stakeholder chain to bear part of the burden of this. It can't fall all on the airlines' shoulders, and we were looking to the European Commission to ensure that the benefits that we hope to achieve under the Single European Sky and the César project, we want those brought forward as fast as we can to give us more efficient air traffic network in Europe, to stop us wasting fuel, flying circuitous routings and holding patterns.
You were talking during the media briefing here about the potential for cutting unnecessary administration, unnecessary regulations, potentially creating a central aircraft registry for Europe. Can you just give me a few details about those potential plans?
Well, that's just the central aircraft registry is a logical progression now that the European Commission in 1992 introduced the ability of any European airline, any EU European airline, to fly anywhere in Europe. Once you give that freedom, there is no rational reason for not having a central European aircraft registry. That would take advantage of economies of scale. It would stop us having to modify aeroplanes to meet one individual state's requirements. That's just one example. What we've got to remember is we started harmonizing Europe from a basis of many, many individual states and individual administrations and authorities. This crisis that we're in should be a stimulus for the regulators to look at cleaning all of that history that we've inherited in the regulations and legislation governing air transport, to clean it and reduce the burden of regulation on the industry. That's something that can be achieved without technological breakthrough, and it will help us contain our costs, and it will help us improve the environment at the same time.
So basically it's a case of, as the carriers are looking to clean up their own operations and make everything as streamlined as possible, you want to see a similar kind of effort
I
coming
want to
from
see
the
that
regulators.
coming from the regulators, very definitely.